there's a new fight. That's what they're calling it. Coming up, Rob G. It's one thing to have an old geezer in one of them, like one of the participants. But at this point, they're both geezers. And not to mention, we're talking like dag near 100-pound difference between the two legends. Tell them who I'm talking about, Rob G.
Hey, look, man, you know I love old people doing stuff. That's my thing.
That is your thing.
It's like my untapped genre in the world of cinema. But when you have a combined age of the fighters of 107 years old, you might want to pump the brakes a little bit.
No, anti-lock brake. Pull that thing. Emergency brake.
Iron Mike Tyson, at the age of 59, according to Ring Magazine, will fight Floyd Money Mayweather, at the age of 48, this April the 25th, in the Democratic Republic of Congo. They're calling it Rumble in the Jungle Part 2.
Oh, God.
Patent pending. We'll see if they can get that cleared.
They're not going to get that.
But we're all very excited to see Tyson Mayweather this spring.
Are we?
Who is this we speak of?
I mean, us peoples.
Okay. Well, don't put me up in this. I'm tired of it, Ephraim. Tired. You said iron Mike Tyson. Maybe ironing. He should be at home ironing.
That's funny. Ironing Mike Tyson.
He needs to be at home ironing, quilting.
Bet you wouldn't say that to his face.
How much distance do I have? Like between
right where I'm sitting.
No, I wouldn't say it to his face. I mean, he kind of takes a joke now.
Kelvin,
like, are we smoking weed?
What'd you
Not
say?
weed, but like him, he's one of that's what he does on his Hot Box podcast.
Yeah, I don't appreciate you. You talking to me. I don't appreciate.
Give me a little more thuth in it.
There
you go. There you go.
I don't appreciate the way
Alex,
you
is
talking.
Alex in there about to say, dang it, I need to turn your station.
I don't appreciate the way you talking.
Nah, I still would be a little
To
nervous.
me.
I can't lie. And that's the problem, Ephraim, is that we think we're going to get that guy, the
say
bulldog.
it to my face.
No, I don't want to say it to his face. And in fact, I do want to say it to his face at a podcast because I like the podcasting. He's very thoughtful, very intellectual. He's been through a lot. That's the best version. That's what this new enlightened version of him I like. I don't need him walking around in a thong again. Where that becomes the biggest topic of conversation.
There's nothing wrong with my butt cheeks.
No, it was that we saw them in the first place. He tried to tell, I used to always be like, well, dang it, we didn't see it, Mike.
Sometimes I like to,
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. Do you have a problem? Turn off your station.
Turn off your station.
Listen, ironing Mike, you should be at home quilting, ironing, smoking weed. That's what you like to do now.
Iron
Podcasting
you right now.
He would iron me and flatten me out. But hear me out. He ain't flattening nobody out, Ephraim.
No, it's an exhibition.
That's the problem.
They're not going to even try to land punches on each other.
When is the last time Floyd Mayweather actually threw a real punch? 10 years? 12 years?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And so you now have a guy who was biting his gloves in Mike Tyson because he knew, I can't punch Jake because that's, we don't want to do that. I probably agree that I won't punch him too hard. And my point is, I'm sick of this. We knew Floyd ain't fought a real fight, and even when he was fighting real fights, y'all were mad because you said he wasn't fighting.
No, he was fighting. He mastered the art of fighting.
But I'm saying he wasn't, middle of the ring going glove to glove. He was just strategically a scientist. But my point is, we can't keep doing this. And Mike Tyson's 59 years old, I believe. There's just this isn't a fight. So what are we? Are we signing up for the spectacle? Are we signing up for the wild, the crazy?
Yeah, because it's just entertainment, man.
And that's what I have to just accept, that
it's just entertainment.
People now will buy anything.
Yeah, you turn it on, you see it, it's funny, you move on with your life. There's no stakes. You look at Floyd Mayweather, man, and arguably one of the greatest fighters to ever fight. Mm-hmm. And I spent a lot of time with Floyd lately. We, at our company, Hidden Empire Film Group, we have his docuseries, a 4-part docuseries.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
The GOAT that we've done. So we've spent quite a bit of time with Floyd the last 3.5 or so years, and all the found footage, just getting to know him and hearing his story in his words, the way he wanted to tell it. So it's one thing that we know is Floyd is a showman. He's created the villain guy who you love to hate and hate to love. And so just, unpacking his life, his upbringing, the things he's gone through, I think the world's going to get a chance to see a different Floyd Mayweather than what the public and what he's put out there. And to his point, he markets the fight. He's a master marketer. And the world's going to get a chance to see a different side of Floyd, and I'm excited for the world to see it.
Well, I'm excited for that, but that's a separate thing. That's in
but he's making money.
He is making money. Listen, one thing I tell people all the time. Maybe it was 2000, call it 15, 16-ish. BET Awards were here in LA. They're here every year, and they do these bunch of different stuff the whole week they're here. And they had this thing called Genius Talks. Mm-hmm. And one year, somehow I was in it. I was just at the venue, and next thing I know, I'm sitting literally front row. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Kobe Bryant being interviewed by Jamel Hill. Shout out to Jamel. And then the next guest was, I forgot the person interviewing, but it was Floyd Mayweather. When I tell you I was so impressed with Floyd when they talked about relationships and love, and you got to, I wasn't, I'll pass. You just, they start talking about money and understanding. I don't mean just like I got money. I mean understanding it and understanding marketing and understanding. You might as well have been talking to Warren Buffett. Mm-hmm. And it was so impressive to see. So I agree with that. He understood I'm not about to be beaten and battered and walking out of here, as we unfortunately know, so many boxers, and coming from the Detroit area, there's a handful of boxers that we knew around town that legends, but when you seen it was like, ooh, few too many punches. And Floyd at some point said, that ain't gonna be me or my story.
He mastered the art of not being hit.
And he mastered that from a fighting standpoint, from a marketing. Okay, if I can get away with only fighting once a year, make $100 million in this fight, so be it. And I will forever credit him with that. But now it's interesting, like he is full on, just went full entertainment, full spectacle now. And that's the thing for me where I'm tapped out. But I told Rob G this, the one thing they have for their credit, a lot of these new events, and we have Ronda Rousey participating in one. We haven't heard from her in a long time since she kind of got her, face kicked off.
Man, goodness.
But she's going to be back now. She's got a big fight coming up with Gina Carano. Yep. That's going to be a big fight. And again, it's the names now, right? So it's Carano and Rousey. It's Mayweather, Tyson. You're buying the nostalgic value of that. Like, I'm if I see 1% of Floyd or Tyson, it was worth it. Because that's just where we are. And I also feel like this boxing has to be like, dang, we just had a great fight with Canelo and Crawford, and we ain't going to draw no buzz like that.
Where are the other fights?
I know.
Who's fighting?
I look at Rob G for that. Rob G, you're a boxing connoisseur. Rob G, where's the next big super real fight? Like boxing fight, not
Crawford
spectacle.
Retired. He's like, I'm done. I've done what I needed to do.
Canelo, to his credit, has kind of upheld the sport of the last 5 to 10 years. What's the next big draw? Is there one? Is that the issue? There isn't?
That's part of the reason how you have these fighters, Floyd, Mike, Carano, Rousey. They're filling a void that the fight game just hasn't produced right now. I mean, there's a reason why Canelo versus Crawford was such a big deal. When knowing that coming into it, we talked about it, they're 2.5 weight classes apart. Canelo really had no reason to have this fight coming in, and then now it's like, hey, well, we need something to market. Tank Davis is going to jail, it looks like. Ryan Garcia in and out of PED use.
Issues.
If he don't win on Saturday, like who's next to be marketed? Shakur Stevens is not selling like that.
Let me ask you both this. Are they this, and you too, by the way, get ready to call in here in a little bit. Is this the same fan base? Are the people who are going to watch Tyson Mayweather, and maybe they are, maybe they intersect, the same fan base that wants to watch Tank fight, to watch Stewart fight, to watch Canelo or
they're combat sports fans.
So you think they're the same, or is the Jake Paul fan just a fan? I just want entertainment. That's what I'd be interested to know. Like, do they intersect? Are they separate? Are they the same? I'd be interested in that as well. But yeah, I saw this and I laughed and I was like, man, Mike Tyson. And the money is clearly good at this point because Mike has zero reason to be in there. Like Floyd at least has kind of been the author of this. He kind of got into this right after he got out fighting Conor McGregor, just when he was still close enough to it that you thought, oh, it'll be, and obviously McGregor.
Yeah, you can make $100 million for a fake fight. Why wouldn't you do it?
No, the one thing they have in their favor, this is what I meant to say, Ephraim, is that Kelvin Washington, and I mean this sincerely, would never buy this. But like the recent Jake Paul, what they do is when it's paired up with Netflix, you almost have no excuse. Like, I already pay for Netflix. they're getting my money monthly
just
anyway.
turn it on.
So just turn it on and see Ronda Rousey and Corona.
Perfect. That's why. That's why MMA went to Paramount Plus. Right. This hit you over the head with the pay-per-view on top of your subscriptions, and everybody like, wait a minute,
It's too much.
No, you just turn it on. You turn it on.
Turn it on.
And you can get premium, so you don't have to have the breaks and all of that. But no, advertisers are going to flock to those those live events. That's the only time you can capture that many eyes is live.
Live, and again, you view it as free because you're already it's not on top. I'm already paying it's $12.99, $20.99, whatever it is, and so you don't look at it as an extra income.
Well, guys, is it as simple as, I know this is like least common denominator, is it just these are names you know, so these are the ones we're going to put you out? Like, that's what we're going to give you. Because the UFC's, what made it great was they gave you all the fights you wanted. Like, back in the day. They did. Like, you're going to get Rampage versus Chuck Liddell. Like, you're going to get Tito versus, like, you're going to get, the stars are going to fight each other. The problem with that is when, and this is not fair, but when you see the stars lose, they become less important to a lot of people.
Ronda Rousey?
Yeah, exactly. Conor McGregor. Once Conor McGregor lost a couple of times, he was less exciting to people for a while. So now what the UFC, their issue is, and you know, they got the big fight at the White House coming up.
Yep.
They do not currently have a single American champion. And say what you want, but the fight game in particular is a very tribalistic, you know, nationalistic type of sport. That's why you see
when a Mexican fighter
versus an Italian fighter or an Irish fighter, it's going to be huge, and you can feel the buzz in the building. And right now, with Canelo on his way out, Bud Crawford says he's retired. Neither one of those sports currently has that crossover star that you are going to tune in to watch. And say what you want about Floyd, if he didn't have the most entertaining fights, he created the persona that people wanted to see because you wanted to see him win and be perfect. Or most people, I can't wait to see him lose because I'm tired of this guy.
He was the Patrick Mahomes, or if you want to say the Chiefs. You either wanted him to lose or you thought this was the most spectacular thing. Hopefully they win again. This fight, you want to see it? Are you the same fan like that watches actual boxing, or is it just entertainment? You say, hey, this is what it is in 2026 and moving forward. Who we got?
All right, we got Andre in UMass in Massachusetts. You on the odd couple with Ephraim and Kelvin. What you got?
In the Commonwealth.
In the Commonwealth. Thanks for taking the call. Glad to be with you on a Worship Wednesday. I'm absolutely out on this fight. I don't need to see two senior citizens duking it out, battling. You know, as if I went to the nursing home and they wasn't serving ravioli on a Wednesday or something like that to infuriate, you know, our valuable senior citizens. At the same time, I can't be mad at Floyd Mayweather, particularly for getting that mignon, because that's what he is extremely good at. And I'm looking forward to this documentary coming out, kind of going into the inner workings of Floyd. You know, you listen to him, you talk about him growing up. He talks about his dad being out there running the streets. You know what I'm saying? His dad also an outstanding trainer, you know, but didn't necessarily have the structure, and then how that kind of informed him going forward to be hyper-focused on the bottom line. But for me, the bottom line in this fight is I respect Floyd, but in terms of him being the GOAT, the greatest of all time, I got to tell you, honestly, I put Canelo above him because Canelo took that Bud Crawford fight, which he didn't need to do, and put it all on the line out there and went toe-to-toe and came out on the losing end. That's my one critique of Floyd. As much respect as I have for him, he did not take the big fight. So he got $300 million to fight Manny Pacquiao. Down the road, he's getting hundreds of $millions right now for Mike Tyson. I credit him, but it impacts his legacy. Last point, Mike Tyson, get all your money. If you're going to come to me with $100 million or whatever it is just to go out there and break a sweat, I can't be mad at you for getting all your Skrilla. Yeah. Thanks for taking the call.
No doubt, man. Listen,
Appreciate
it's a lot of money out there for them to, and really, again, there's no argument in that. You know, it ain't a real fight. Hold on, don't in your life make you absolutely love competition. Rob G, we have curling, a.k.a. sweeping and mopping, going on right now. And, yes, it was a nice – what do they even call it? Is that a throw? Is it a toss? Is it a roll? What do you call it? Would they turn? What is it? I don't know. But the lady rolled the thing down, and they were sweeping and mopping, and it was nice and landed right in the center. You should have saw Patrick Mahomes throw a behind-the-back pass the way you just made it face. Like,
look, man, nice? I love competition. And so does Leo in NYC, in New York. Leo, you on the odd couple with Ephraim and Kelvin. What you got?
My brothers, how are you tonight?
What's up, Leo?
I gotta say, we do not want this farce in our jungle. We want to keep our lions and our hyenas from watching this fake fight.
Okay.
I mean, since we're doing action tonight, I figure I'll throw one in. But I gotta say, guys,
That's funny. Pretty good.
I gotta say, no, we don't want to. We don't want to see this. I mean, give me Pacquiao and Mayweather. At least, even if they're old, that's the same class, that's the same division. I can get behind that. But Mayweather can probably, use Tyson butt cheek as like his training sack at this point. What are we doing here? Trying to build this fight on the back of the Rumble in the Jungle when we know that historic fight represented something. They didn't just pick like an exotic destination just because they're looking. No. It had meaning behind it, and trying to use that and promote this fake fight right here. I mean, come on, what are we doing here? I mean, personally, as someone who was born and raised in the motherland, I am not watching it. Not.
Yeah, I hear you, Leo. I don't know, though. I feel like everybody says that. It's like a lot of people say they didn't vote for particular people, and it's like, well, somebody lying up in here.
No, it's the bottom line is it'll be on.
Yeah.
Right? Are you going to get home early to watch it? No.
But if you're sitting at home, feet kicked up, and it's on, it's on.
It's on. And that's what entertainment is.
Yeah.
How many times have you put something on Love is Blind and it's just on in the background?
No. Rob G gets home early for that. He's excited about that.
But you can make the same argument about the Super Bowl. Like most of the people who watch the Super Bowl do not care about football.
Oh,
it's
for
just
sure.
the event
Absolutely
of watching
correct.
the Super Bowl. You're going to see the exact same thing happen with these fights right here.
All right, I want to settle down a little bit.
70 million people tuned in to watch Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson bit his gloves for 20 minutes.
He did bite his gloves.
That's
Yeah,
like, hey,
the numbers are outstanding.
Mike
It's
Tyson
crazy.
bit his gloves and was in a thong, and that's pretty much all we got. I will say, to Leo's point, Pacquiao Mayweather would be interesting because your brain says they're still close enough to be fighters. How old was George Foreman when he came back to fight Michael Moore? Was he like 46,
42?
42? Was he 42?
I believe.
That
yeah.
young? But my point is, it was like a big deal because, he came out of retirement and he won that fight. He was 45. Okay. So my point is, with Pacquiao and Mayweather, your brain can still, they can get back in shape enough to look the part. Obviously, Pacquiao
I'm
just
sure
fought
they're
recently.
both in shape right now.
So you're like, all right, dang it. Obviously, I would have preferred it years ago, but I can see that.
I would sign up for that.
Yeah, I signed up for that too. The Tyson, that's just, come on, Mike.
next, Tyson Holyfield.
Oh, you know Holyfield on the phone.
I'm watching it.
You absolutely will.
I'm watching
You'll
it.
be at Costco buying a new TV.
Hell yeah.
And filling out an application so you can work there.
Getting a 100-inch Hisense for like $8.99, and I'm going to be scanning memberships in the front.
What a hot dog.
Hagler,
Hey, like, sir, you don't even
Hagler
work
and
here.
Sugar Ray.
All right,
I'm watching that too.
Ain't Hagler getting gone? Yeah. He's still with? Oh, okay. All right, rest in peace.
You went too far now.
Yeah, you went
I'm going too far.
Yeah. All right, Rob, so they're watching us right now, which means another thing they can do is what?
They can subscribe. All you got to do is hit that button, subscribe to The Odd Couple for some of the best sports talk content in the nation.
Facts, and while you're at it, they can like, they can comment, they can share, do all that for us. We appreciate it. Just do all that right up in here.